Now we are going to spend a couple hours simply teaching you how fun, easy, and how little time it takes to help a lot of people. And whether your ambition is to help a few or a lot of people, we want you to set your cornerstone correctly so that you have the tools and the systems in place so that the work that you're doing is high leverage activity. And we're going to show you exactly what that high leverage activity looks like. So I think what we're going to start with, and what we start with every training, you'll see our style of trainings are a little different. And what they are is more interactive. We're going to have some fun today. Your leaders are going to role play for you. We're going to have a little bit of a panel. We're going to really find out what it is that you want, and we're going to answer those questions. A lot of time it's already part of our content, which is kind of a crack up. But first we start off with letting you know that we are here for you. We are servant leaders, and we really want to understand what it is that you're looking for, what maybe you're struggling with, what you may be wanting to learn. Hi, Jamie. She was trying to be all still. Everybody, this Jamie. Jamie, everybody.
Hi.
My Zumba instructor.
Wait, another one?
Yeah. So anyway, so we're going to start with just how many people are brand new health coaches in the room? Brand new, like within the last 6 months? Okay, so quite a few. And the rest of you seasoned. All of us are more the same than different. Let's remember that. So what is it that you would like to see us train on today? Just to start out with, Veronica, what do you got?
Yes. The biggest struggle that I seem to have is really helping people get to their why. And I think what you really excel in, what I admire so much about you, is that you're so able to really help people connect with that. And I would actually like to see a demonstration of that.
That's awesome. Okay, so we'll do some role play. Maybe we'll talk to the panel a little bit about it. Is that a good one? Okay. So what I heard you say is you really helping people become intrinsically motivated, making, when you make somebody take a look at what it is they want, and sometimes they don't know what they want, you guys. And so by having them think about it and helping them dream a little bit, wonder what if this could happen? And you can build on it. And then what happens is whatever they're trying to accomplish, whether it is losing weight on their program, or maybe it's in their business, the difference between watching that movie and picking up that phone is going to be because it was their idea. And that's the key to it. You want to make it their idea and what matters most, and having it always in front of them. And being that voice in their head so that they can go, oh, yep, that's what I want. That's what I want.
Specifically, when I'm talking to somebody about the program, that is a free client.
Oh, good.
To help them move from where they are to where they want to be through, becoming a client. That's the heart of our business, is bringing people into the program.
Great. That's perfect.
I have a question from Zoom.
Okay, Zoom has a question.
This is from Melinda. What are the next steps after you've asked somebody if you could send info to them because they may know of someone who would benefit from our optimal health plan? After you've sent them info and after they've said you could keep them up to date monthly. So what's that process with connections?
Okay, that's a good question. Are you going to write that in the 10?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So, and I'm going to pause here real quick, and I want to just appreciate and recognize the leaders that put this on. There's a lot that goes into this, and I want to appreciate regional directors and fully integrated business coaches, Matt and Chelsea Gonzalez right here. And Executive Director Jessica Campisi. And of course, we've got the famous Joel and Vicki Hagan, regional directors, Vicki somewhere. And then today we have special guest speakers, Charlene and Lee Green.
Yay!
And we are fully integrated business coach, national directors. Just That is awesome. And then, of course, my husband, Mike G, who is always the background man, global director dude. Okay, so what else do we got? Yes.
I've been hearing little snippets about how to do things more in a blended way.
Ooh.
So I want to see what that's all about.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
I'm excited.
Because it's all part of my evil plan. Okay, you got that?
Yep.
Yes.
I would like an example of how to be out in public and approach a stranger.
Oh, that's a fun role play.
Awesome.
Okay. Yes.
Julie, I'm always interested in how other people share through Facebook and through social media and how you bring more people onto your team that way.
Awesome.
Okay.
Got it? Yes.
How to not be so like pushy with clients, and if there's a good way to like get a client without pushing them on them, or like you have to do this.
Okay, so that would be what I'm hearing you say is I want to learn how to ask them questions.
Asking questions.
The art of asking questions.
Okay.
Kind of on the flip side of being pushy, but how to be a health coach and not a friend.
Ooh, boundaries.
When you have clients that are saying, "Oh, I've plateaued and I'm not losing my weight," but you try to pull it with them.
Yeah, Lynn, what's that got to do with getting healthy?
So
What else we got?
boundaries.
So did you get that question? That's how to, the line between friend and health coach.
Got it.
Is that what I was hearing? Yes.
How to invite to events like this.
Ooh.
And then along with that,
Love it.
talking about the flyers that you have in Coach Connection. Okay, this is a whole page. How do we make it a small 2-page, something like that? That's easier to handle.
Okay. You may be able to cover that in when you do
Yep.
your habits
Yep.
of with your
Okay, I'll talk to you.
with your Thursday.
Yes and
thing.
yes.
That-
We'll get that.
What else we got? Anyone else?
Talking too much, I hear. Yeah.
Talking too
That's a
much?
great, that's a great one.
Oh, how to not
Verbal vomit.
Verbal vomit.
It's a problem we all have in
Do
the
we
very
have to
beginning.
call it that?
Well,
That goes under the category of emotional intelligence.
exactly.
I was going to say something that a lot of our coaches, we've been really working with them on is how to do a social media like post when you're a health coach and follow up in the threads, what that really looks like.
Ooh.
Because there's a lot of clients waiting for you in there that are asking, people miss that all the time.
Ooh, I like
So how to maybe, if you have health coaches, support them, and then if you are a health coach, what your job is. I think that would be something really helpful.
In regards
Yeah.
to social media and posting and are you
Follow up.
launching grand opening?
In regards to how do you post, and then what's your responsibility as a coach then to follow up in the comments? Because
In the
we'll all
threads.
see people making comments, oh, tell me how, and no one ever gets back to it.
You're like, you're
Oh.
killing me here.
Well, yeah, so as a coach, I go back and I babysit that, like, to say, hey, if you were my coach, Julie, I'd love for us to share, how you can help your people with that one.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, great. That's a good one for the panel too.
Yep.
So put panel by that one too. Did I have another one? Yes.
At networking events, we talked a little bit about this last time. What can we say in 30 seconds? And this would be beyond the I was, I am going to, or will. That brief thing
Okay,
that you guys would do.
Beyond your 30-second story.
No, yes, the type of thing you could do at a networking event that would promote a commercial, if you will,
Oh.
Okay.
in 30 seconds.
What's a new
She
A
wants
new
a
commercial.
new
Another template for this. I've seen little snippets of one-liners in the stories that you all had done earlier. And there's a lot of those that might be able to be incorporated. But I'm just looking for ideas. I'm joining the networking group, and I'm nervous as heck about the idea of having to get up and do 2 30-second commercials each week.
Okay.
I feel like
We
I
can
run
have-
out of ideas.
We can have samples of that with the panel.
Yep.
And
Thank
we'll
you.
just all brainstorm. How about that? That would be good.
One more. When over and over, even with encouragement to start the habits of health
reading the books or really not getting involved with this, using the other tools that are available.
Leading the horse to water. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is in a Zoom streaming right now?
Yep.
Yes, we are live streaming. Hi, everyone on Zoom across the nation. We love you. Mwah.
And will there be a recording later?
Yes.
Perfect.
And there might be another
And
question.
if you are not in our global organization, get with your global, and I will give that to them, and then they can distribute as they see fit. How's that sound? Okay, good. All right, so we're going to start off with Chelsea. She is going to actually probably answer a couple of these questions already. How we do this is we want to make sure that we get all your questions answered, all of the suggestions that you want to see acted out, or whatever, and then what we will do at the end is make sure if we did not cover any of that, we'll address it. But it's curious how every training we literally, it's always in our content. So that's good. So Chelsea and Matt have been very successful in doing a Thursday night weekly meeting at, you're having it,
Monthly.
is it monthly?
Not weekly.
Okay.
Oh,
monthly.
too much work.
Yeah, and you're having it at a coffee house and getting the word out. So why don't you go ahead and show them what that looks like,
Okay.
and you're going to cover something on
I'm going to
there.
cover a couple things.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So Katie,
Okay.
Chelsea Gonzalez.
When I first became a health coach, Julie used to have these little meetings at a library. And I went once, and I thought, I could do that. It's just a very casual get together. And we started at a library about 2 years ago. And the room was an eighth of the size of this room. And so it grew very quickly, because what we would do is we did it usually once every month or once every other month, depending on our schedule. And I think we even started this before Matt had quit Boeing. And so it was all based on when we had time. And so nighttime during the week, Thursday nights, just tended to work the best for most people. And what I'm good at is Facebook. Not everybody's good at social media. Not everybody's good with the techie stuff. So I'm going to tell you now, if you're not good with that, you don't have to be the expert. You can print a flyer and hand it out as you see people. If you work or you volunteer or you go to a networking group or whatever it is you do where you see people, you can just put the info on a piece of paper and have some in your purse or have some in your pocket and just say, hey, you know what, if it comes up, I always say if it comes up, I don't leave with Take Shape for Life. But if it comes up, I say, hey, we're having a little get together at the library. Here's the info. I'd love to have you come. It'd be really awesome. And so that's how it started for us. And we outgrew that room very quickly. So then we moved into a church. And these are all locations that are free and nonprofits, basically. So what I do is I'm a free health coach, and we teach habits of health. That is what I offer. And that's how I'm able to go to a library or a church or something like that. I don't talk about Medifast a whole lot, because that's really not what the program is. It's a part of it. And if someone wants to talk about that, that's fine. But you do have to be a little careful with those free venues. With the coffee house that we're at now in Marysville, it's also a nonprofit. It's run by a church. And the reason we moved there was it was a really just amazing venue. It's a really comfortable place. And we had, I think, 20 people show up last time. Kind of outgrew that space, but we're going to just bring in chairs, and it's just very casual. And what we used to do is we used to do PowerPoint, because that's what Julie did. So I just copied her. And what I found was I thought, well, shoot, I can do PowerPoint. Most people don't know how. So I had to take a step back from my skill set and think, gosh, if I want anybody to be able to repeat this, I want this to be low tech. I don't want this to be complicated for people. And simplification is kind of what I've been focused on this last year. So here comes my favorite brochure. These are really cheap. You can get a whole bunch of them. I put my label on it, on the back, or whatever. And this is what we always have at our little meeting. And when we go through, kind of like what we did the first hour and a half, we talk about program. We also always talk about coaching, because it's part of our program. We just have these. I also usually have like a little health coach brochure, just if people want to take it. But we literally turn to the first part, we go about the 3 components, we talk about it. We talk about how weight loss is only like step 1. And then there's all these other steps to improve your health. We talk about the habits of health component. We talk about the food a little bit, but it's not about the food, so we don't spend a whole lot of time talking about that. And that's it. So we have a couple people share stories. When it's a really small group, everybody kind of shares their story, even if they haven't started on the program yet. They just share about them. Very casual. So what I like about it is we have these on the first Thursday of the month or whatever, and it's very different feel from this. But then we have this, where it's a little more anonymous. So a guest can come and sit in the audience and not say a word. But then they have our events where it's a little bit more supportive, a little bit more casual, different feel. And I love having those two things. So when I'm talking to somebody and I get a feel for where they're at, if they don't want anybody to know who they are, well, I'm inviting them to this, you know, because they don't have to come and talk in front of anybody. Not that anybody has to, unless I spring it on them. I did text her last night, just so y'all know. I just didn't go through. I showed you my text. But it's not about springing on people. It's just about sharing from your heart. And so that's what we do at our Marysville events. Is that what you wanted to share?
Yeah.
I will talk about networking really quick.
Yeah, that's
just
good.
from my perspective, I love networking at non-networking groups. I love volunteering. So networking just happens naturally. I don't like those. I personally do not like networking groups where you have to stand up and say, I'm this and da 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 da. But when I am approached that way, when I've been asked to do that, and this happened recently, I was at this women's group, and it's not really networking, but they said, hey, let's all stand up and share who we are and what we do. And I said, well, I was the last person to go. And I stood up and everybody had said what they do and why they, you know, what they do really. And I said, well, instead of telling you what I do, I'm going to tell you why I do it. And I focused on why I became a health coach. Not about actually how I help people, but just why I personally decided to become a health coach. And that impact, I mean, I cried, of course, in front of everybody, which is not a bad thing. And it impacted people way more than if I had said, I help people get healthy and I do this and I do that. It's totally different. And there's a video from Simon Sinek, TED Talks. And it's about the Golden Circle. So if you just Google TED Talk, Simon, S-I-N-E-K, there's a great video about sharing why you do something instead of what you do. It's a huge difference. Doesn't sound like a big difference, but it impacts people in a different way.
Okay, so
Done.
with that, stay up here.
Okay.
Vicki, could I have you come up real quick?
Yes.
And maybe Jessica? Sure. And we're going to show you what it looks like to say why we do what we do.
Oh, we are.
We're off the cuff here.
Okay.
So because I'm
Don't
the
have to be
culprit,
prepared at all.
I'll
Ever.
go first. So I became a health coach because my life was impacted so much by this program that I could finally have that chatter in my head be gone. It was very negative. It was holding me back in all areas of my life. And it was such a relief to finally have a plan and to find something that was so lucrative at the same time making such a huge impact in other people's lives. I knew I wanted to do something Oprah big in this life, and this is the vehicle that I found that just fits every single aspect of it. I'm helping people create whatever life based on what matters most to them. And that's why I became a coach.
Awesome. So the reason I became a coach was when I worked for the phone company, I was so sick, but nobody knew because I didn't look sick. And I was called a liar a lot. And it impacted my identity. I thought I was a bad person. I didn't think there was hope. And I saw people there that were the same boat as me, that were miserable and sick. And I know some of the people that still work there that are still in that boat. I became a health coach to help those people. And now, because of my good friend Eric, and because my friend Teresa, who may be watching, they're both health coaches. They both work for the phone company. We've impacted at least 30, 40 people. It's like come full circle. So for me, I know what it's like
Gosh, every time.
I'm gonna follow that.
Sorry, shouldn't have switched spots.
I know you don't come back with it. And that is so true too, and I mentioned it when I was up here before, is that I had been this person that became kind of a recluse in my house. All my dreams were dead. I figured, I shouldn't dream. Dreams are for those young people, those young, thin, pretty people. So I didn't even deserve a dream. And when it happened and I lost the weight, oh gosh.
Oh, man, you guys, really?
I'm sorry. And I really, when Julie said you were going to die, that wasn't joking. I really was seriously ill. They were getting ready to talk about a heart transplant, and I had given up, completely given up. God, I did not anticipate this at all. But
Here they come. Here they come.
thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Okay.
Anybody else?
Okay. So when I realized that there was hope, when there was an answer, when I was able to get off the couch and I was able to see that I was able to dream again, when I got me back. I got me back. I was gone for a long time. I don't know how that happened. I don't know when it happened, but I lost myself. So when I got myself back and I realized that I am not only going to live, but I'm going to live some quality life and I'm going to have fun and we can dream and we can make goals and they're coming true. And I knew there were people sitting in their houses on their couch watching those TVs like I was, thinking those dreams were for everybody else but me. I want them to know that that's not true. The dream can happen for them. And I want to be able to help somebody else realize that. What a gift. What a gift we have. The ability to reach out to someone who feels hopeless and helpless and think there's nothing ever going to be there for them. And we can go, no, that's not true. Let me help you. Is there anything better than that? It doesn't get better.
Jessica?
Wow, I'm so happy to be last. I've never really thought about it, so this is flying by the seat of my hot pink pants here. Happy Valentine's. I am super passionate now that I'm in the place that I'm in for moms. Because what do moms do? I say we don't even get to the back burner. We're still in the drawer. We're the pot and the pan in the drawer. We don't even make it to the stove, guys. We don't. We lay ourselves down. We put the red carpet out for our kids because we love our kids. And I've been able to learn, oh, here it comes, how to roll out the red carpet for myself first. Because even taking 5 minutes a day, putting myself at that priority for just a little bit right before I do for my kids, I am there for them 100% more. 100% more. They have a happy mom who's happy from an authentic place. It's not a happy face, it's a happy mom. And they have a healthier mom. So, yeah, those 10 years, I get at least 20 now added to the end of my life.
Yeah, how much did you lose?
122. So I have a huge passion for helping anybody that wants this, but my first passion is those moms, and to be able to be home with those kids and take our full offering and bring in that income, and the husband doesn't have to be so freaked out that, oh my gosh, I got to work every weekend, that they offer so that I can keep us all afloat. But we actually get a weekend together because I'm just helping other people.
Is that what you were after?
Thank you, guys.
not easy to be up here and stand in your tears. I remember when I first became a coach, I did those little things at the library. And sometimes it was just me that showed up.
Yep.
Or me and my mom.
Yep.
Or me and my mom and one health coach.
Mhm.
So, but I kept doing it over and over again. And my biggest fear was to get up here and get emotional. Wonder if I cry. Wonder if we're affecting so many lives that it gets to me and I'm embarrassed because I cry in front of them. These are leaders that literally, here's me in my crying self, and here's the real me that can make a difference in the world. And I move myself out of my own way, and I become vulnerable. And that is a true servant leader. That's someone who, whether you're just helping your mom or your sister, or you're helping a lot of people, if you can just get yourself out of the way and not worry about any of that stuff, so that you can really make a difference and impact in lives. We are humanitarians. And so if you can really, really make that change, and reach out to your mentor. When you become a coach, we're going to be here. We're doing it for you. And what we're going to train on today, I'm so excited because we're morphing. This company is morphing. What happened when I first started coaching was that we would teach people. I would teach you, here, call people, make a list, call them, and go do that, and then check back. And I mean, it's so funny. We're clients, and because our transformation, this is predictable transformation, right? We know you follow this 5-in-1 plan, you do it's going to happen, whether you believe it or not. You don't have to believe it. There's a lot of science behind it. We have 95% of America can't chop, dice, trim. They can't outrun the fork with exercise. Sorry, but they can't. And the reality of it is we've got our hands on a program that actually works. And it has a health coaching piece and a habits of health piece that helps us to keep our weight off, change the way we think about things, and really navigate our wellness for life. So once we know that, we can't keep it to ourselves, right? So if we can literally get the piece of getting ourselves out of our way and now reaching up to your mentor and letting your mentor do this for you. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because this is so exciting. Charlene,
yeah.
You are a product of this new way of doing business.
New generation.
Yeah. You want to come on up here and do a little dog and pony show with me?
Okay, honey.
Everyone, our special guest speaker,
I'm the special guest.
Charlene. She's not special ed. We didn't ride the special
No,
bus.
but we did ride a little bus. When I turned my Cadillac in, we were car shopping, so we borrowed my mom's cube, which is like driving a little bus.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
we're in this little blue cube. It's actually like driving around in a living room. It actually even has a little carpet piece on the dashboard that holds all your stuff. It's really cute. So I did drive a bus here.
So remind everybody, you started with Take Shape for Life in.
We started in, I called Terry Miller on August 15th. My program came on the 24th or 5th, and he was a health coach that same day.
Okay. So you were 53 pounds heavier at that moment?
Correct.
And something pink Cadillac driver.
Yeah, I was an executive with a company, so I had a skill set to develop people.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Okay.
So my organization was about 1,000 people.
Okay. So when you did that, you got yourself healthy first.
Correct.
Lee saw the benefit of being a coach.
Right.
And so right out of the gate, you started just telling your friends.
Yeah, so literally, I started my program, and that was on the 24th or 5th of August, and by September 1st, 5 people were on program with me. So I didn't wait to say, I've lost all this weight, I'm healthy now you can join me. I was like, I'm gonna do this, and you should join me. Because with my friends and family. And just like you said, we do things together.
Exactly. And you know, when I when I start someone on program, I say, who do you know that you can do the buddy system with? This is going to really solidify your commitment, and it's going to help make it fun for you. And that's basically what you did.
Absolutely. And so there was 5 there.
Okay, so Lee's no dummy. He signed up as a coach because
He's the smartest one.
he's the smartest.
He's smarter.
So then those 5 people started getting healthy, and then what transpired from that?
I just couldn't believe how it was growing. See, because then I had lost 10 pounds, and also I followed my mentor's advice, Terry. She wanted me to do a social media post that I was going to get healthy, and I was not a Facebook person. Like I went on my Facebook like once a month, and people would say, I Facebook message you, and I tell them, don't message me on Facebook because I won't even know you talked to me for like a whole month because I just never went on Facebook. And so Terry said, you need to do a post because you've got an audience of like 800 people or 1,000 people on Facebook, and those people, not everyone will see it, but lots of people will say, whoa, what's going on? So I said, I don't want to do a post, and what if it's a conflict with my other career? And so, well, you're not a health coach, that's true. So I did the post because I believed my mentor knew how to help, success happen, and I wanted Lee to be successful as a health coach.
So with that said, who is a secret agent? Don't be a secret agent.
Oh.
So part of posting, that took guts on her part, because once you put out there, I'm doing this, you're doing it, buddy. I mean, like I was telling you, Denise, I was like, man, I could spiral out of control, but this is my career, my life vest. That's part of our piece of holding yourself accountable, is when you're forming community of people that are getting healthy, you're going to watch your own self. And, we all come from bad habits, and we can easily slippery slope right back into them. I don't know about you, but this has been a life vest for me.
Oh, completely. And I was excited about knowing there was accountability, and that I had told everybody. My video starts off and I said, I'm going to do it once and for all. I'm going to get healthy. And I'm holding everything. And I remember I watched it back, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I just posted that on Facebook. And it was funny, people were messaging, you are so brave. I thought, I am? I don't know. Just like, did I do something wrong? Like, am I in danger? But sometimes it's better to act on inspiration. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you think there's somebody you should reach out to that's asking you questions, or to say, hey, I want to share with you how great I'm feeling, do it. Because when you're inspired, that's when all the magic happens. When you do something. But when you don't act on it, that's when you just kind of are stagnant. Mm-hmm. So I love that you're joining a networking group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that you said you're a little terrified of standing up. Is that what you said? I love that, because that's actually not fear, it's excitement. You're just confused. It's actually
That's great.
So you came out of the gate, had your friends on board with you, and then Lee, because you're so smart,
you're actually smart.
You knew that you were gonna, 1 out of every 5 clients is gonna be a coach for sure.
Oh yeah, and you know what, you guys, I never, I love Take Shape. It's so, Terry said it was organic growth, and I really was so confused. I'm like, are we not using chemicals? Like,
Organic.
what does that mean? I didn't understand organic means it grows itself. And people were becoming coaches really quickly with us, because they were like, well, you're doing that, and you're helping people, and I'm on program, and I want to help people. And so I would just, when I'd say, who's asking you? I would just say, who's asking you what you're doing? And they would say, oh, so-and-so. I'd say, great, let's reach out, because everyone deserves to feel this great. And we'd reach out, and then I'd say, hey, do you want me to coach them, or do you want to coach them? And I love what you said, because you're going to coach them anyways.
Yeah.
And that's so true. And if they say yes or no, it's okay with me. And I didn't realize early on that we needed coaches, because I didn't fathom that Lee and I were going to reach the point where we actually couldn't coach more people right now. I have to make a decision. Am I going to coach more clients, or am I going to keep building more coaches? And which one can I coach more people with ultimately?
Coaches.
Right? Do you guys see what I'm saying? Is that there's just so many people. I have people Facebooking me at this point saying, did I offend you because you haven't gotten back to me? I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I can't get
I'm so busy. I get up in the morning, and I just all day long, it's my mission, because it's my full-time career now. I'm just pouring myself into it. My point is, I wanted coaches right away, because I wanted them to be able to assist their groups, because I was assisting my group, and it was all growing. So it was really, I never said you should be a coach, because that's not awakening their intrinsic motivation.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. So asking someone what they want and then asking more questions is how you awaken someone's intrinsic motivation. If I were to say, oh, you have to be a coach because you're going to love it, and I want you to do this, and you got lots of people, and I want you to, and I think you should do it because you'd be really good at it, and everything.
What I'm really feeling if she was doing that was like, back off.
Yeah.
Like that's obnoxious.
Right. How rude.
How rude.
Yeah.
Julie, how rude.
I know. So wonder if I were to say, Charlene, you've done so good on the program. I'm so proud of you. Do love twirl. I love it. So what do you love best about your new hobby?
Just the freedom to know that I'm in control of my body and my health for the first time ever.
What does that make you feel like inside as far as your future and what you can do with that?
Hopeful, excited, empowered,
Really?
like shopping.
I know, right? Hashtag shopping. So,
My husband, he's like, stop shopping.
So tell me what that would look like if you could just, you're looking at your future now, and it probably looks a little different than you pictured it, say, 5 months ago. And what you're thinking, what you could do with the energy you have, how you feel, where would you go, who would you be with, what does that look like for you in your life?
I'm just thinking about doing some things I really had never thought of doing,
Right.
different activities, traveling, we're thinking of living in Hawaii instead of just visiting it, just all kinds of different things that I really never even thought about in the immediate future. Just feeling so great and wanting to pass on to other people for me.
Right. So who do you know that would want something like that? Do you know someone else in your life? How many people are noticing? What kinds of people could you help get where you want? What do you know other people who want what you want?
Yeah, I do, and a lot of people are asking me.
Do you know other people who have come from where you came from?
Yeah, that's my circle, my people.
Yeah, and are they struggling the same way you used to?
Yeah, most of my family. Like I've got a whole humongous family. I have 90 cousins.
Okay, so just off the top of your head, what's the 5 people names that you could say, oh my gosh, would be so interested in what you have to offer?
And I would be able to tell you.
Okay.
I already talked to them.
So, I know, but say you're brand new.
If I was brand new, it would be
You're
my mom.
fine.
It was my mom. It was my mom, my niece. It was back at the beginning.
So we're writing these down.
We didn't wait to talk about coaching until I had finished my program. It was like, and this is a point that I want to make for you guys too. I was talking to your guest, Julie, before she left, that it's so much fun to take people with you while you're in program. It's way more exciting because you're so excited and plus you've got all that ridiculous energy during fat burn. You need to channel it somewhere. And but really you're making your transformation, and it's like you're like, come with me, we'll do it together.
Yeah, let's.
We'll jump in the water together. And when I'm done, even though I love what Jessica said earlier. Was it Jessica? Probably, yes. You said that we're not above them, we're with them. But the truth is, when you're done with your program, you are the expert. And they are looking to you for that. But when you're doing it together, you're like, I don't know, let me research that and find out what I'm supposed to tell you. I'll call my health coach and ask her about that because I haven't asked that question yet. And it's okay. They love it. They want you to tell them because you're their buddy, their friend, their family. My mom would call us and ask us questions. She was our first client. She was also our first health coach.
Cute.
And then she announced that the other day at our little event. She goes, I was the first health coach. So I was like, I need to get her a badge.
She'll be Charlene's mom.
Yeah. She wanted to be supportive. So I did. I gave them the names of the people. And actually, I didn't go back to my mentor and say, these people are asking me. Lee was a coach, and I said, how they want to start. How do we get them started? Yeah. So it really depends on. Everybody's different. Don't judge yourself against someone else. Like if I'm going fast and you're not going as fast, that's okay. Move your speed up a little bit. Get a few new tips.
We're gonna set the course. You set the pace. Charlene set her pace.
I wanted a fast
Warp
pace.
speed.
Yeah, I did. I wanted that. I did. I actually the reason I was working so intentionally, I wasn't leaving my career. He was gonna leave his. Oh, sorry, honey, you're still there, but soon. Because then I left my career. I left my career because I had to, because it was a conflict in the career that I was in. So it kind of like push came to shove, and I had to pick either. I had to pull back or Lee needed to leave, and he said, honey, you just keep running as fast as you can, and his deliverance is next. So, well, I do. I think it's different for everybody, and he's amazing the way he does. But isn't that important to almost everybody? Who in here wants freedom in their life in some arena that you don't have it right now? Who has it something they want more freedom? Yeah, only 50%. Okay, we'll do a class on that next time.
And I just want to bring up like Jessica and Teresa. Neither one of them have a weight loss story, and so they weren't the walking billboard or come along with me. But I mean, Jessica, she's at warp speed too, and she's just like going, I want this for other people. Right. I know what I have my hands on. And so she uses other people's weight loss story. The other day on the phone, we used the Lucian's story because it related to her pre-client.
Well, and clearly there's enough stories available that you don't need your story for it only. And I think the point you just made is really pivotal for movement. You know, who wants movement in here? Who wants to move forward more and assist more people? Who really wants that? I think everyone does. That's why you're here, right? And I love that in this company, you only become a health coach because you have a heart to assist. I think the bigger your desire to assist, the faster you can go. Because it really doesn't matter if you have your own story or if you even have all the skills. You know, it's really, people really are, when they are inspired and enthusiastic, that is actually really super contagious.
And you only have to be one page and one manifesto ahead of anyone that you're assisting. And because you knew about it first, you're already ahead, right? And because our health is like the laundry, it's never done.
It's never done. Yeah.
We're always on our journey.
Right.
And so you don't have to be at your healthy goal weight. I mean, we have tons of people in our organization that are still on their journey and are assisting so many people.
Well, and that's inspiring, you guys. We have a new health coach candidate, and she is a person that has not lost weight all the way through and done. And, you know, because everybody's different. Some people aren't going to have that completion. They're going to take a couple steps and hover, maybe even go back a little and then take a couple more steps and hover. See, we all have a circle that we can relate to and people that will be inspired by us. And so don't judge yourself like it needs to be like this for me to do that. It doesn't matter. It's that we're all getting healthy, and then we're learning how to stay healthy, and then we're learning how to go through different phases of our life, from young kids to teenagers, which, by the way, makes you want to eat more because they're a little stressful, you know. It's just amazing. It's when you're little, you don't have time to feel yourself. It feels like on your own, but this program makes it so you can. When they're teenagers, you're like, is red wine in the summer program?
It's not anymore.
It's drink more. No, but really, like, we all have different phases, and my mom is in the phase of, it's all about not being on medication for her, and she knows at all of her levels. She'll say, I went and they tested my level, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know about levels yet. Like, this level of that.
And we don't have to.
No, we don't have to. But I'm saying that you have different phases of and so we all are here as a community to inspire everyone else. So you can use anybody's story as part of a way to connect to someone else.
And asking someone what they really want means asking more than just what is it that you want. It's digging deep and asking, how will that make you feel? How's that going to affect people around you? What's that going to do for your psyche in the future? How are you going to operate when you get this stress out of your life? What's that going to do for you? Yeah. Really becoming a detective in asking people things that they haven't asked themselves. That's the key.
Yeah, because you know what? That's where awakening happens. Is when you ask the question and they have to answer it, then they have made the answer instead of you giving them the answer. And when someone makes their own answer, it's their answer. So then they've awakened to something more. And I think that's what we were doing with all the coaches that we've been, sponsoring. Is I really didn't know any of the tools that were available. I didn't even open the kit because Terry told me not to open my coach kit when we got it. I was like, great, I'm gonna have to do that. I opened it like 8 weeks later when she kept talking about these file folders. I'm like, where are the file folders? She goes, they're in the kit. I'm like, oh. So I went and found those. But we were using, the only sheet that I knew about was the Trilogy wheel that we use today. And I use that with everybody. And I say, let's make sure we rate you on, you rate yourself on where you're at with that. And so I didn't have the fancy one for coach candidates. I didn't even know about that one, of course, just that one. And I would have them say, where are you at between 0 and 10 in this category? Let's look at it overall. where are you at over here, when we went through the 3. And we had a lot of people come alongside of us as coaches because they weren't where they wanted to be financially at all, or no freedom of time or mind freedom. And there's people like Lee was already totally healthy with his body, but he wanted mind freedom and time freedom, right, honey? You want freedom, honey?
Hashtag freedom.
Yeah, and one day he's gonna surprise me, and he's gonna come running up here with me. It's gonna happen at an event. I just want to go and put that out there. It might not be for a little more time, but it's gonna happen. He's just gonna come running up one of these times, right, honey?
Oh, we don't have it.
No, but we would have them look at that, and then they would say, I want to look at coaching because I do want to see people, and there is a financial piece to that. And I didn't need to tell them the comp plan and how everything worked because we didn't even know how it worked still, and that was okay. We just knew that we were going to get paid for assisting people. Great. And the same with the mind thing. So that trilogy was a really great awakening for people because they're answering their own question there. What else, Judy?
Okay, so now we're going to just visit around what we've got up on the screen here.
You want me to stay with you?
Yeah, you can.
I would love to.
I would love you.
I like playing with you.
Yeah, I love to play with you. So,
I'll take
we're
a minute.
girlfriends. Say,
We
say,
are.
play.
We were in Hawaii. It was fun.
Okay, so starting a new coach. The first thing you're going to do, the reason why Charlene went so fast is because remember that analogy I showed when you're in, here's the real you, and here's the scared of you. And you've got all these concepts. I'm not a goal weight. I'm scared I might get emotional. I can't talk to, I don't know anybody. Wonder if they ask me questions I can't answer. And then so you just go, oh, well, I'm going to peekaboo and maybe start one client. Oh, that was scary.
Another one.
Or you could just go, you know what? Don't care. That's what Charlene did.
You call me whatever you want.
Shush. That's what you did. Yeah. And you didn't care.
And I really didn't care because you know why? This is why I didn't care. Because I was irritated that people would come up to me later and tell me, oh my gosh, that is a great program. I did it and I lost 50 pounds. And I thought, that was so selfish of you not to tell me. Like I kept thinking I'm in my 40s and what if I discovered this in my 20s? I lost 20 years of my life to battling the bulge of up and down. And I had 7 different sizes in my wardrobe. Anybody? And I was like, wow, that would have made such a difference. And then my daughter was overweight, because she had learned her same habits. Did you ever notice families kind of look alike? Their habits. So I was irritated that no one had told me.
I know.
And that irritation, it was so rude. And that irritation propelled me to want to tell everybody so that they wouldn't be irritated with me later.
And let's face facts. You know what? We all know. If we all knew, just eat less, exercise more. Why can't you get this? We have our hands on the easy button. 95% of America can't figure this out, guys. And all of us have a tool that we have something that actually works.
It works.
And we're keeping it off. And we're teaching other people how to teach other people how to do it. We're going to get America healthy. And we're not doing it one person at a time anymore, are we?
No, we're going to do it in groups.
Yeah, we're going to do it a lot. So we need coaches. And so to start a new coach, it's this easy. I actually, I do this first. I'm asking you as a client, who's noticing? Tell me 5 people. And I have them actually tell me the 5 people. Okay, is there anybody we could call right now? Let's tell them what you're excited about. And we called right together. We don't even ask the person. We would call Jamie and say, Jamie, I got my health coach on the line, and I'm so excited because I found this program that actually works. And I've been struggling for a long time. And I'm trying to do all the right things, but it never really works. And, I know that you and I have been commiserating over this for years and years, and you struggle right along with me. Do you want to hear a little bit about what's happened to me? And then you'd say, sure. And then so I go, okay, I got my coach on the line because, I want to be sure and answer all your questions. And she's the expert. So away I go. And then I help them get their first client started. And then guess what I do next? Oh, no. We have 4 more people to talk to. So we do that, rinse and repeat. And then I simply fill out a client profile as well as the new coach fills out. So I'm literally doing it for them. I'm pretending that these are my very own clients. And so we're going to call and do the night before a phone call together. Both of us take notes. I'll say, hey, this is Judy. I've got your coach Charlene on the line. We're calling for our coaching call, and we're both writing, and then we do it for all 5 clients. And right down to the first 4 days phone call, we're just she's job shadowing me.
Yeah, I call the apprentice, and I tell them,
Yeah.
we're gonna apprentice together.
Yeah.
And because
You don't
that's
have
what they
to know
do.
how to do it.
That's what they do, you guys, in the healthcare field. Is have you ever been in a room and the doctor said to my
That's what
colleague
it's
come in?
called, interning.
Right.
You're
And
an intern.
apprenticing, if you're in a professional field like an architect, you would apprentice and sit and watch and participate. And I try to involve my coaches. Are you doing that too?
Yeah,
as much as I can with them
Absolutely.
talking.
Well,
and-
you know, after the first one, okay, now you, and then we, and then I'll watch you, and then I'll watch you teach it.
Right. So then
Okay.
they graduate.
So they graduate. So literally after 5, now they're a senior coach. They're, you know, beauty part of senior coach. 3 things happen when you're senior coach, right? We get them there right out of the gate, first, second week. They don't even need their kit. The kit that's $199 to order, you guys, that is simply to support clients. When you open up the kit, did it have any clients in there?
No, and I love that. Craig Blanchett said that. He goes, there are no clients in the kit. So don't open the kit until we have clients.
So literally, then now what happens when you help someone assist 5 clients right out of the gate? Number 1, now any entrepreneurs who want to be in the black, right? $199 for your kit, your $200 certification exam. That's it. $99 a year to renew. There's no secret to this. That's all there is. I'm like, really?
Well, and you know, there's that $100 CAB bonus when you're a new
Right.
coach that you can achieve when you have 5 clients in your first 30 days.
Right.
And I'll tell you guys, that was kind of funny in our house because Lee was kind of pumped about that $100 bonus. And in my scheme of things,
CAB means client acquisition bonus. It means you assisted your first 5 people in the first 30 days, which 30 days is kind of a long time, but
it's 30 days from when they start their office in motion. So you're new coaches. And so we track that. And I wasn't excited about $100. I'm like, okay, what's that exciting about? Like, I was excited we were helping the people. He was excited about that and the $100. Like for me, $100 was like, I'll barely buy a couple of shoes, you know. And I hadn't had my
they'll buy 1 shoe.
yeah, I hadn't had my transformation enough yet. I'm just saying it didn't appeal so much to me. But that's part of asking questions for people. You know, would that be exciting for you to have that extra $100? That would just be that? Is it the accolade that you got your CAB because it's only available 1 time? Is it that you really help the people? And listen to what they tell you because they're going to tell you which part excites them. And then you've awakened that part of them that is they're invested in going after that. And it's a win. And when we feel like a winner, like we act more like a winner, right?
I love that. And so the 3 things, you know, now if you have 5 clients, $300 to $500 a month, now you actually have paid for your business. You're in the black. Anyone that business, we know that's first thing. Second thing, now you actually have a business. You're actively coaching 5 clients with your mentor. You're seeing how fun and easy, how little time it is. It's super, something that you're actually doing. So now you have a business. And the third thing, now those 5 clients in the first week or 2, they've lost 5 or 10 pounds. They're excited. Now we share with them either becoming a coach and helping their friends, rinse and repeat what we just did, or we teach them how to refer. And it's that easy. So that's the right out of the gate, becoming that senior coach, getting that CAB, having those wins under your belt is key. And then simply just rinse and repeat.
Well, and you guys, that's I want to say too on the referral part. You know, when someone has started to transform, that people are asking them. You know, and one thing about this program I love is because of just how it reduces inflammation so quickly. People will notice they're losing weight even after 5 pounds. People that know them like, wow, you look amazing.
It's because their face isn't so puffy.
Yeah,
and
the
they're just
inflammation.
totally,
It goes down. And what happens with the referral piece on that that's so important is if we really are in this to help America get healthy, Take Shape Your Life does not pay for advertising. The advertising is the transformation of people. And so that is how we can affect that circle of people, and then they go back to their work and they affect that circle. That is how we fulfill our mission with Take Shape Your Life, is we need people having their transformation, having that feeling of health, but also showing the world they're transforming. Those 5 can turn into 40 pretty quickly. So not only are we then fulfilling our mission, but also as a coach, you have a real business going. You have new clients that are going to be referred or new coaches. It's one or the other, right? So you see how it's stacking. It was so brilliant when the compensation plan was written for this company that they did it that way, to reward for the 5 that they have as clients, because that is going to set them up to have a real growing business from the beginning. And who wants that in here for yourself?
Yes,
Who wants it for their new coaches?
Yes.
Right, for people to succeed.
Mhm. So this is what we were just talking about. If you want to write it down or take a picture of it or something, when reaching out to someone. Charlotte, I'm so excited to find out if I can help. Since I'm still in the process with my training, my health coach, Julie's going to help on make sure we answer all your questions. Does 3 p.m. work for you? So, and we don't call them practice calls anymore. We used to do practice calls, which was, do you have somebody that's not really even interested, that is your best friend, that could care less, but we can just do it in front of her so that you can hear me do it. We don't do those anymore. What we do is, I said do.
Do the do.
When that happens. We actually, who's interested in your world? Somebody's interested. If you didn't have weight to lose, you know somebody that does. Don't you want that for them? Have you talked about health with them? Somebody in your life has done that.
So, and it's great for you guys, because even if they're not ready at the beginning, when the coach talks with them, we ask our people, who do you know that you want to get healthy with you? And they might tell you somebody, and that person might not be ready yet. But by doing that 3-way call, that's a layer. And the person may need to watch a little bit more, and then they will be ready. So it's never wasted time. The coach is learning the skill, and that person that might not be ready yet, they're getting closer to being ready, because the transformation is going to continue. It's a predictable transformation, right? Mm-hmm. So I love layering people too.
Mm-hmm. And that's key with, keep in mind, please, that your pre-client folder comes in your kit. Your pre-client folder is for 80% of the people that you know. We're looking for the people who are looking for us. We're not here to talk people into it.
Right.
I've sat across the table from so many people and said, Charlotte, if you're waiting for me to talk you into it, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And so when we're talking about awakening someone, if I say it, you doubt it. If you say it, it's true.
That's right.
And the only way you're going to say it is if I ask enough questions to find out what it is you want, and you're telling me what you want. And I'm just saying, okay, so what I'm hearing is you want A, B, and C. Yes, okay. I know how to help you get there. Is that what you want? Do I have permission to coach you? So it's super, super easy if you just ask questions instead of telling someone what you think they want. And digging is key. When I'm talking to someone about what they want, I'm going to take away everything they're going to already tell me. I'm going to say, okay, so once you get to your healthy goal weight, you have more energy, you're off your medications, you feel more confident, and you just feel fantastic. Those are the 5 things they're going to say out of the gate what they want. I know that. They're going to always say that. So just take that away from it so you cut to the chase. Then what will that look like for you?
Right.
And if they say, well, I don't know, then I say, well, if you did know, what would that look like? And you'd be surprised how the second time I go, if you did know.
No, it's like they make something up almost. They
They're
go,
like,
well, I was pretending.
I guess if I'm pretending, then I guess I would be able to fit in the kayak.
Right.
You know? And then you're like, wouldn't that be fun? What else would you do? And then the problem is people are so used to not dreaming. We're just hopeless. And they're just doing the grind. And what our job is to help them see what can be possible, and see what can be possible very quickly. I mean, transformed life right here, transformed all over the place. We heard stories this morning, you know, wow. And this isn't just little things in their life that are changing. These are huge, huge. So these are just some specifics on what you would do, closing with the invite. We talked about all that.
Can I hold off one really quick, Judy? Julie.
See, we're just, yeah.
So you guys, this one here, last night I was talking with a pre-client. It was a referral, and so I had the gal that referred her on the line with us because I wanted her to consider coaching. And that was her first training, even though she wasn't a coach and I didn't tell her it was her first training. And she's watching the Zoom now, she's gonna know. But she is becoming a coach today. But I asked the person at the end, I said, so I hear what you're telling me you want to accomplish is you want to gain back that feeling of control and confidence in yourself, and you want it to affect your son because you want him to be healthy like you. Is that right? Is that what you want? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, I know we can help you with that because I know this program can deliver that. So are you ready to get healthy? Are you ready to do it? It's just that simple. And it's not because I'm closing her. I'm closing up the appointment.
Mm-hmm.
You're never closing a person. They have to close themselves. And if she says, I'm just not ready yet, but I need another layer, say, absolutely, when you are ready, will you let me know? And here's the next thing I could do to give you another little piece of information. And for us, it's to add into our client support group, the Facebook group, so they can watch transformation. It could be to send them a brochure, like Chelsea said, but leaving with either they're ready or a next step.
And follow-up is key
Yes.
with that. And I'm glad you brought that up because one of my biggest successes is my detail to follow-up. I am the best follow-upper in my world. Just ask me. Anyway, so when I'm following up with someone, I'm calling them and saying, hi, this is Julie Judy, your health coach. I'm always somebody's health coach the minute I meet them. Hi, Jamie, this is Julie Judy, your health coach.
Oh, you are, that's so fun.
So I'm always thinking, because I want them to start thinking of me as a health coach. People know you how they know you. They know you from church. They know you from, education, your work, your neighbor. You want them to start branding you as their health coach. So my first, I'm your health coach. Maybe we just met in the grocery store. It's Julie Judy, your health coach. I promised you I would follow up with you, so I wanted to be sure and not drop the ball. My next thing is going to remind them what it is they told me that they wanted. I know that we were visiting about your health, and you said that you really wanted to be able to get down and play with your grandkids on the floor, and that meant so much for you to be there for your grandkids and be a part of your family more and live a longer, healthier life. I know I can help you do that, and I want to just talk to you a little bit about what that's going to look like for you. And so give me a call back, but I know that people get busy. So if I don't hear back from you, I will give you a call back. I'm always having them expect my next phone call because I'm not going to bug them. I'm just doing what I promised I said I would do. Mm-hmm. And you may call them back a couple times and they never call you back. So let them off the hook. If I call them 3 times, 4 times, and they haven't called me back, and I know when I talked to them, they were super excited, but maybe they just got busy or the excitement went away and it fizzled out. Clearly, they're not ready yet. So I put them in my pre-client folder, and I'm going to take really detailed notes of what they said they wanted, because remember, it's about them. It's not about me, and it's in their time, not my time. So, I started somebody the other day that I've been talking to for 5 years. 5 years. So,
favorite things, and we took it out and we just fed the town. We just kept feeding the town. And guess what the town did after they tasted their food? And they went there. And it became their little spot. And they have people that stop off the highway and drive down 10 minutes on their way to work somewhere to get coffee and whatever they have there. Because not only do they love the food, but they love the people. They love the community. So my concept to you is feed people with the story. Tell the story. So how are you going to tell the story? I do it. On Facebook with Days of Hope. Maybe you have a poster of hope each day. Perfect. And lots of pictures. And Terry taught me this so effectively, Terry Miller. Pictures tell the story. Think about it this way. if you get the newspaper and there's no pictures, how boring is that? Who grew up ever reading the Sunday Funny papers? Who's old like me and used to get the comic stuff? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. I didn't even care what was going on in paper. I want to see pictures of stuff. Or have you ever skimmed through a magazine and a picture makes you read the article? Tell the story with pictures. Pictures, they tell 1,000 words. So stop talking and tell it with pictures.
Good.
That was a good one, huh?
That was awesome. In fact, who's taking pictures of this event today? Mike, Judy, are you in the back?
Mike's been taking pictures the whole time.
Yeah.
He's in back there.
This one would be called #rockstars. Okay.
She makes us feel so good, you know?
So, Coach Batbury, we're gonna, bye you guys, thanks for coming. So, getting someone going right away out of the gate, we talked about that, their CAB, client acquisition bonus, but really taking them along. I made the mistake of starting a coach before they were ready. And then what happens is they go, well, I told you I'm not ready yet, but I'm going to do all it. And then it kind of goes off. And
they ignore the client, you mean?
They didn't even start a client.
Oh.
They wanted to buy their kit. They wanted to sign up because it was a promo or something. And then all of a sudden, it's October and the coach hasn't even called me back. And so the reality of it is he wasn't ready. And I should have said, why don't you just wait till all that's done in your life and then we'll revisit this. And let's get you started when you're really ready to go. And so, because we want them to go into fat burning. I want them to have their first win out of the gate. The second.
Are you talking about the client or the coach? Are we talking? Yeah.
Coach fat burning.
So, you guys, I have a couple coaches that I didn't know because they were so new and we were so new and you didn't know what you didn't know. And that's okay. But they didn't coach some of their clients in the fat burn phase. And that is the most important time for people because that's when they're on day 3 going, I cannot keep doing this. This is really hard. Mm-hmm. They have no idea that they're just almost through, like literally like in a marathon, they're going to break through the ribbon.
And they stop just short.
They stop just short. And so that is the most important time. So I make sure that I do coach our new coaches in that apprentice intern style for their first couple clients now to be sure that they know how to coach them. And sometimes it's texting. Texting is so great. How's day 2? Thinking about you. Any questions, any challenges? Because you'll lose those clients in there and they won't know how to navigate that, or they'll think they have to call and have a big conversation. It's really just a touch base.
And when I start a client, the reality of it is I tell them right there when I'm signing them up, I tell them what their next step is and what they can expect. So the phone call might look like after we get their credit card information. Okay, so here's what it's going to look like. You're going to get a quick welcome email from me, and it's going to have a couple homework assignments on it for you to do. They're super fun while you're waiting for your food, and that's the assessment, the health assessment, and the quick start guides attached. And I say, and I want to make sure that you read that cover to cover, because the only promise I'm going to have you make me is that you will not start this program without me. So we're going to talk the night before you start program. Some people get their box on a Friday and don't want to start till Monday. That's fine. I just need to talk to you the night before. Do you promise?
That's so good.
I make them promise me. And they go, okay, I promise. And then on Sunday night, it's usually Sunday night, they call and then I say, we're just going to go over, we're just going to go over any questions and concerns you have. It's going to be a quick call. And we'll talk about what the next day is going to look like for you. That Sunday night phone call, you guys, is the phone call where I build my relationship with them. I'm qualifying them. They called, so they did what they said they were going to do. They're coachable. They're minding me. Just kidding. I love to say that.
But they are so respecting you.
Yes,
and
yes.
You told them how it works.
Yeah. And then on the same phone call, as I'm telling, after I have them make that promise to me, I say, and then we're going to talk in person for the first 4 days. The reason we need to talk in person is because so many things can be just little glitches or just a little tweak that it can make or break how you're feeling. And I want to make sure that we're really addressing that. So we're going to talk in person. That's just a quick little phone call. And you can actually text me and tell me, can you talk now? So we're not playing phone tag. But let's talk in person. Again, I know from experience that first week is the week that I get the chance to build a relationship with the client, because you can expect to spend about 1 hour per new client in their first month. That's signing them up, getting them started, the fat burning, all that. 1 hour in the first month. And then after that, sometimes they tend to just respond to your email or, text you. It's very impersonal. They're good to go. I know my window to build that relationship is very short, and it's always in the beginning. So I'm like, I want to talk to you. Just the other day it happened. She wasn't eating her fifth meal or eating all her vegetables because she read it wrong and thought it was 1 serving, not 3 servings of vegetables. And she was wondering why she was hungry.
Or my client who's a nurse was walking 5 miles every day.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out why she wasn't in fat burn yet.
Yeah. So it's stuff like that that you're not going to get over text, because over text you're going to hear, I'm fine. I'm good. And so you want to be sure you talk to them in person. And so I tell them, we're going to talk every day for the first 4 days. And then after that, it's just a once a week, 2 to 5 minute phone conversation. Do you want to just call me anytime? On Tuesdays is our coaching call day, or we can have a specific 5-minute slot that I save for you, which is best for you.
And I've met some really high professional people that are really busy, and we don't talk on the phone every day of their first 4 days. We set it up that way where I say, I'm available. Would you rather talk on the phone, or do you want to communicate via Facebook message or text? And, I really let them set that pace. So it's my preference, like Julie said, to talk on the phone, but it doesn't always work for every person. It's most important that, how are you feeling? Are you having any headaches? Feeling motivated? Do you have any challenges that are coming up today? Asking enough questions. Don't give information. Ask what? Questions. That's where you find the answer.
Okay, and the key is to that, she nailed it on the head. You do not give the answer.
Right.
If they say, if you were to ask me, Charlene, ask me if I could have green beans.
Can I have green beans?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. Do you have your quick start guide right there? Let's open it up to the page where it says the vegetables. Do you see green beans on there? And you say, yeah.
Yeah.
Great, then you can have green beans. Right. If it's not in the quick start guide, it may not pass your list.
And just so you know, Terry would tell me this. Is it in the quick start guide? She didn't even ask me to open my quick start guide. I'd say, can I have this? And she'd go, is it in the quick start guide? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, and we were Facebooking. And she'd say, which is kind of nice when you're Facebooking, because then it gives you time to go look and then come back and say, yep, it sure is. Thanks. And now where do I know where to look?
Yeah.
And then I would ask her something, and then she'd say, is it quick start guide? I'd say, no. She'd say, well, then you can't have it. So she would tell me. I was like, oh, okay.
So the next time she's wondering if she can have corn, she's going to go, Julie's going to have me get that dang book out. So I'm like,
it's so great because it's actually empowering to the person.
You're teaching them how to coach themselves.
Well, but you're empowering them in this way of, I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. And she already told me next to the place I need to look is the, so clearly I need to look in the, so it's like, and so you take care of a plethora of problems right there. It's great. Yeah. I love that.
And using, that's what's so great about being a health coach is you don't have to know the answers. All you need to do, just like the airline stewardess, is know where all the exits are and the quick start guide and nutrition support.
But when I use nutrition support, Lee and I email them every single day. They're probably like that, Lee and Charlene Green. But sometimes I'll send them 3 different emails at one time for different clients. And we save all the answers in a file. And then we just have it. Here's the answer about soy. Here's the answer about exercise, because it's the same answer.
Yeah. And I use more of the phone. See, this is the beauty part. It's your business. You can do it any style. I have a question on the phone. I go, you got a second? We'll patch them in. Nutrition support. I've got a client on the line.
I didn't even know you could do that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's all I do. So then I go, and then nutrition support, da-da-da. And I'm just on mute doing something else.
Wow, Lee Green, write that down. That was a good one.
I think that's a really good idea. A lot of times, just for ask you questions that only
Yep.
Yeah,
that's right.
So I just ask them to talk.
Yep.
I will say, you guys, that when someone has a fear or concern, like about soy, that's one that comes up, or different things.
When they can hear it from the third party credibility.
Well, it's great for some personalities. Yeah. The ones that actually worry about those things need it almost in writing. I will tell you this. Yeah. And when I have that in writing, and I can send them that, where it's not an actual issue they're having, it's actually a fear that they're concerned about.
Right.
Differentiate those two. I think it is great to send them that and say, I'll get that in writing for you for nutrition support.
I have a client who doesn't watch me anymore, but she was one of those. Oh, I can't have soy. I'm lactose intolerant and I'm gluten free. So what can you do for me? And so
What did you do?
you know what? I went through and I printed out all the sheets with the allergens, and then I cross-referenced them, and I found like 5 things that she could have. So that's what we ordered her. My question is, how do you deal with those people where you know that they're probably not allergic to soy?
Right.
They're probably not, you know, they're probably maybe they could be lactose intolerant, and they probably don't have celiac. How do you?
Okay, so
deal
that,
with that?
I can answer that
She
one.
clearly, Julian's dealt with this.
Yeah. And so the reality of it is, that's their reality, right? That's their concept reality. Whether it's true or not makes no difference. It really doesn't. And so what happens is you can hook them up with the information you gave. There's real life,
The allergen list.
and then you can hook them up with nutrition support. They're going to be able to ask you some questions that I don't know to ask you. So let's go there. And then when they go, yeah, but you know what? This program probably really isn't for you. It doesn't sound like you're ready.
Yeah, just let them go.
But you know, if you have a big, huge sheet of paper and there's this little black dot and you're just focusing on that black dot, you're like that, and there's all these people waiting for you to get to them. Yeah, no.
That is so true. And you guys, this is what's interesting is the clients that we started that did have a big old list of everything. It's almost predictable transformation. It's also predictable, like that they're really not going to stick with it. And I don't mean that in a mean way towards them. It's just that they're not ready. Just like you said, they're not ready. But I still just say absolutely, and you know we can facilitate that for you, and we help them get started, and then just keep the relationship. The great thing is when you have a client like that and their spouse starts. And the spouse isn't like that. Remember earlier I said, tell the story with pictures of the transformation. They're sitting there watching their spouse transform, and they're already off program. They're going, maybe this does really work.
Yep.
Maybe I can eat that. And so really, they have to come to their own.
And let's face facts, you guys. This program may not be for everyone. It's not for everyone. It's for the people who are looking for us. It's for the people who really want to change their life and don't want to sweat the small stuff. And it's all the small stuff, right? So you can do this program through the Habits of Health course materials. You can. I've had 2 people do it. Jessica, you did it for the first year just using Dr. A's Habits of Health book, the meal plans in there.
And a cooler. I carried it around.
So you made it yourself?
She chopped and diced and trimmed and counted and did the whole bit. And you lost how much?
40 pounds in 12 months.
Okay,
Because
so
you had to do it your own way, didn't you?
yeah.
See, and so you see that answer though?
Okay, so but then she finally said, let me press the easy button. And after that, you lost how much and how much?
80 pounds in 6 months.
What's so great is, and this is such a great that you brought her in, because it's so great. You had to change your own concept, and you believed that the program worked, and then you were ready to take the next step. So it really is about the next step with people. And it's always the next step. And then why do they want to do it? Going back to their why, when their why is big enough, think of the woman that lifts the car off of her kid. Right? How's that possible? Because her why was big enough.
Yeah. And I share Jessica's story a lot, because, you know, she did it the hard way. And when somebody says to me, I just can't, like, they just can't wrap their head around Medifast, okay, buy the books. I mean, I really don't care what they decide to do. I mean, I do care, but I don't care.
You're not responsible for them.
It's not my job to care about that. And so I use Jessica's story a lot because people really...
I was just looking at the screen, not smelling your hair.
When I shared Jessica's story, she did have a concept about the cost of the food. That was part of it. And it wasn't about soy or anything like that. It was really just the cost. And you found that it really didn't cost any different.
Now I make my own order.
Yep.
My husband's not on plan, but he still doesn't want to live past bars. And then I make my kids their own order.
Yep.
Because we're worth nutritious
Because
food.
you graduated. You graduated in your mind to the next thing
Yes.
and the next thing. And that's really what it's about, you guys. It's about the whole journey's like that.
Exactly. So now we're going to bring up the panel, and Charlene, would you mind being on the panel? Would you stay on the panel?
I'll stay on the panel. I'll stay on the panel.
You're such a special guest speaker.
I love these. Do you guys love these chairs? They're awesome. I think these are so cool. I think the 70s are back and they have these rolling cabinets chairs.
Oh.
How many chairs do you need?
Just 4 is good. We're gonna bring up Jessica. Would you like to be on the panel, please?
Yes. Can I have
And Vicki Hagan.
It's casual. No worries.
It's casual.
My toes are all pedicured up, I
Oh,
promise.
you're super good.
Those are
But my
pretty.
heels are hurting.
Let me see your heels. Come over here.
Oh,
Oh,
these are those shoes that, $100 bill buys one, right?
Yeah, I
But
love
they're
them.
very worth.
They're so great.
Chelsea, you wanna jump on the panel?
Okay.
After you do mind up.
Ready?
Mind up.
Can I make a comment
You
about
sit
the
right
red
in
card?
this line. Yes.
What I found, and I've talked a lot of people into doing the program.
You've
And they
talked them
just-
into
I
it?
talked them into it,
Okay.
until I learned a new way. And
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm the only one that's ever.
Oh, yeah, right. I have to
Yeah.
apologize to the first lady.
But this is the thing, is that when somebody starts and they're really not ready, and then they fail, remember how many people are gonna tell that they failed. So there really is something very valuable about really waiting, helping people. And some people are ready and they don't know it, but just to think about that other side and what people will say. They're not gonna say, I didn't do the program. They're gonna say the program didn't work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, the flip side of that is, the flu's going around. Anybody know that? The
Yeah.
flu's going around.
Yeah.
We have all these clients, Lee and I were laughing, that have had the flu, and their very first things are like, I can't keep down my 5 and 1. Am I gonna get out of fat? Is this gonna kick me out of fat burn? And we're laughing like they're fevered and they're throwing up and they're worried that they're gonna get kicked out of fat burn. That's motivated.
Yeah.
That's like inside motivated. You can't buy that, can you? You can't talk someone into that. And we're like, usually we're like, I'm sick and whatever, and feeling whiny. They're like, help, I can't swallow my meal, I'm sick. Am I gonna get out of fat burn? We just thought that was funny. Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked to you a little bit about, getting started. And did that last segment help anyone? Can I get a couple, what'd you get? Can I get an amen in the house?
She's looking for one.
No, can I get 2 people to throw out what they got out of that last segment?
Lots of pictures.
Lots of pictures, love it. Anyone else?
Lots of questions.
Lots of questions.
Good.
Oh, I got a huge thing because so many people, like Charlotte was saying, they haven't dreamt, they haven't hoped. And so many times when I'm asking my questions, I hear, I don't know, I've never thought about it. Now I know what to ask after I hear that. And that's huge. I'm excited.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move right on to, now that you are a new health coach, you know what you're going to do with your mentor. You're going to come up with a strategic plan. And we talked about what we call AIM. It's Awakening Intrinsic Motivation. And that is the first half of what we do as a health coach, is AIM. We aim with people. We ask questions. We are a master at asking questions until we get to the bottom of helping them to dream, helping them see what's possible and how close that could be for them and what exactly that's going to look like in their life. Now we go to the stay part of what we do. And the stay is your strategic plan, your tactics of what you're going to do, your action specific things that are going to get you there, and you and yours, what it means to you and your people around you getting you there. So think of it like it's chess game. I know that some people are having a little bit of a time with this, trying to wrap their head around what's the difference between tactics and action is what I'm getting most from people.
Well, this was so hard for me to understand. I had to have it explained 3 different times to me, but I got it now. You're first.
I was going to say
I'm so excited that I got it. It was like a huge light bulb.
I know, right? So we'll go over it real quick. Strategic plan. In a chess game, that would be to win, right? So your strategic plan in your business would be to go global director.
What's your win? That's
what's your win?
Your win?
It
So
may be
what's your win?
I want to help 10 people. That's my
That's your
strategic
win.
plan. That's your win. So your tactics is to capture the king. So your tactic to get there, to be a global director, I need to help 5 people create an executive director business and have some foliage, I like to call it, have some foliage underneath that with some roots of some health coaches, so I have a sustainable business. So, and then your actions would be simply to move the chess pieces strategically to capture the key. Those are your high leverage activities. When you're looking at what your actions are you shuffling paper or are you actually doing things that move the dial forward? And what that might look like is, Facebook is huge, being active on Facebook, getting on the phone, making sure that you're connecting with new people every day, making sure that you are getting conversations had with your clients so that you're teaching them either to become a coach or receive referrals from them. Finding out who knows who, expanding your world. I have a few coaches that say they don't know anybody, and I'm like, how could that be? You know people. So get with your mentor and find out where that is, because you're going to fit this business in the nooks and crannies of your life. It's who I have become. So when you can wrap your head around, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a woman, I'm a health coach, I'm a student, I'm a humanitarian. It's just who I am. If I'm sitting by the pool talking to someone about his health, teaching the pool how to make skinny margaritas, and he gets so excited about what I'm excited about that he wants to go right to the internet cafe and sign up as a client. Was I working there? It's a little gray. I don't know. If it becomes who you are, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like you're doing what you're excited about. What's that saying? If I love what I do, I never work a day of my life, right? And some people don't love what they do. Do you think? And you know what? There are specific careers that people love. And if you have one of those, you are so lucky. And this career is so dynamic because it's for the masses. This is for 95% of America. Anyone can be a health coach. You don't need to have a master's. You don't need to be in the health arena or know the physics behind fat burning or all of those details that I am so not wanting to even know. Some people want to know all that. So that's what we're doing. So Charlene, would you go here?
Okay. So who knows what stay means, like for yourself? Who says that you could actually, this has been helpful to you and you know how to use this and it's moving you forward? Raise your hand. Exactly. That's what I thought. So this is an intrinsic part of our business, like really part of how it all works is to take AIM. You're going. So AIM is to awaken your intrinsic motivation. Even that, I kept asking Terry, what are all these big words we're using? You know, like, what does that mean? What does intrinsic mean? Who knows? It's what's inside of you. So what's actually really important to you. So I want everyone to think for a minute. Let's aim, and then we'll go over stay, which is how you're going to get there. So the aim is the higher thing above it all. So what do you really want? Not something small like I'll use us as an example. We want freedom. Lee and I want freedom. That's the most important thing in our life. And then we'll define what that looks like for ourselves. What we have to do to get freedom will be next. That's what we'll go into stay in a minute. So what do you really want in your life? The bigger thing, the big thing that you want. Let me hear some things you want. Anything that you want to give to others.
World peace.
Okay. All right. So you want to see a more peaceful world. Okay. All right. I think by lowering people's glycemic index, we can have more of that. Because people are a lot nicer. I don't know if you noticed. Who noticed when they were on plan, they were a lot nicer. We get a lot more happy people. I'm not joking. That'd be okay to help people get healthy. That's the other thing. Flexibility. Okay. Leaving a legacy. So when you're gone, that there's something that you left an imprint. Okay. Whose family is important to them in here? Who has things they want for their family? Okay, so it can be a big concept or it can be like lots of little things that are like Johnny to go to Hawaii because he wants to, Sally to get braces, our family to take a vacation. So take a minute and write on your paper some things that are actually really important to you. Try and write down 2 or 3 things, and then we'll take to stay. So what is really important to you? And then when you write them down, then you're done. So I'll make it ready. You got them? Everybody have at least one? Anything, throw it down there. Okay, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be world peace, or it doesn't have to be a noble thing. It can be something that actually matters to you. It might be to pay my house off. It might be to do something for your mom. I don't know.
Might be Botox.
Might be Botox. Yeah, right. It's what's important to you, according to where you're at in your journey. Okay, so now we're gonna stay STAY. Just write it down on your paper. I know we're zooming, so Terry's probably gonna watch this and go, oh, I have to teach her again. So it's perfect, but this is how I understood it, okay? So Dr. Anderson and Terry, I hope this is right. So the strategic plan is now, hey, see over there on the chess, what's the strategic plan when you're playing a game? What's the plan always in the game? To win. Everybody say it to your neighbor, tell your neighbor. To win, right? Tell your neighbor so they know too. And that's how you remember, is like when you're talking about it. So how are you going to win? What if it's a game? So someone give me what they wrote down on a piece of paper.
Travel all 50 states with my kids in a motorhome and teach them history hands-on.
Okay, so are you gonna homeschool them? Holy schmoly. You are a chopper and a dicer. You're amazing. Okay, I know. That's what she wants. Okay, but that's a great point.
That's like poke me in the eye with a sword.
That is what she wants. So look at her face. How motivated is she? Okay, so travel all 50 states. We'll start with that. Okay, so how do you win at that game? So if it was a game for Jessica to travel all 50 states, what would be the first way that you would start to win at that?
This is why you're here.
Okay, all right. Well, you would need to have some money, right? Okay, so if we start, what are the next steps to get there? So your thing is, okay, my big thing that I want is I want to travel all 50 states. But really, what is above that? Is it freedom that you want? What is the thing above that? Is it the freedom to do that? So I want flexibility and freedom and money. So that's really what you're aiming at, correct? And then the strategic plan, because we're going to make it now, this is actually something we want to create. The strategic plan is to travel all 50 states. Do you see? So the aim is the bigger thing. It's the money. Did you get that? Did it just go on?
Okay.
So her big thing, you guys, that she wants is money, flexibility, and time. So that is the big thing. So that then her strategic plan is to do what? Travel all 50 states with my kids. Do you see? Okay, so that's your strategic plan. That's the thing that we're going to do. That's what we're doing. And that's going to be your win, right? Now the tactic, how are you going to get there? We need money. And so what are some things you can do to generate cash with your business?
Hire clients.
Write that down. Okay, help her out. What are some other ways that she can make money with this business?
Sponsor health shows.
Okay, write that down.
Are those actions?
No, we are totally in tactics. We're writing down ideas of how that she can do this, right? And then we're going to write down action steps next. Oh, see how it's coming together? Okay, get your bonuses. And so you got to make sure that they win, help other people win, right? So you're getting the bonuses. Okay, so that's going to create that. And if you have a certain amount of money, will you have the time freedom to go?
Yes.
Okay, so then you might want to actually have a certain amount that you want to make. It's measurable. That might be something that you have up there with the strategy. Travel all 50 states, and so I want to have this much money. Okay, are you following along? And then tactics, what are tactics for her then for supporting the clients? Is that important so they'll stay?
Yeah.
Write that down. Okay, so there's 4 things that we do in this business so far that I can really identify. Is we acquire clients and coaches, and we support clients and coaches. And those are really what you're working on getting good at. And the better you get at that, and the clearer your aim is, the higher and faster you can go. So now you need to, okay, so what are some, we need more clients. So maybe we need to actually figure out how many clients you need, so we need an actual income goal. So if you're going to do their first state, what's the first state you want to go to? Just pick one.
Okay. California.
New York.
Okay, New York.
Real big.
Okay, and are you going to fly? You're going to drive? That's right, you said that. So how much money do you think you need to do that?
I need to figure that out.
Okay, so let's just say you need $5,000, for instance. Let's just pick a number, and you can go back and figure that out.
Right.
But you guys, she's giving you really why people don't ever do anything is because they haven't thought it through. The whole beauty of this is they're thinking it through. So if you need $5,000, how many clients do you need to support to make $5,000 per month? Just like this month, if you're supporting 20 clients,
right?
That's about how much money, Julie?
It's 2,800.
2,800, okay.
Yeah.
So,
So I want to do blended though.
okay,
I want to be smart. right?
okay, yeah.
So you basically integrated regional
Regional,
director. So
right.
you want to help one other person reach executive director. You're executive director yourself by structure and volume.
So really now her strategic plan is, one of the things in that is to become a regional director, because then it gives her the ability to go to the 50 states. You guys see how she's working through this? She keeps working through it. So now your strategic plan is?
Become a regional director.
Okay. Because then you can travel,
Integrated.
right, integrated regional director. So then you're gonna work with your mentor on that. So tactics for that are you need to do what for a regional director?
I need an executive director.
1 ED, and then you wanna have at least 5 senior coaches, right?
Yes.
Integrated.
Yes.
So write those things down. So I'm gonna develop an ED.
What are we
We're on tactics. We're on
Okay,
tactics.
we're still on tactics.
Okay. And the reason that I backed into this is because people don't say, I want to be a regional director. What do they say? I want to travel to 50 states. And then you have to keep asking enough questions of how much money will that take? What will that look like? Until now we're getting clear. Now we're going back and we're saying, okay, so your real strategic plan is, I want to travel all 50 states, so I want to be a regional director.
Integrated.
Correct. And so then tactics for that are, I'm going to develop an ED, I'm going to develop 5 seniors. How many clients do you want to be supporting?
Ooh, good question. Things I've never thought about.
Yeah. So 20 or 30, how many do you want?
I had 30 at one point. That was good.
Okay, want me to do that then? So 30? Okay, so now you've got some tactics. Those are the steps you're going to get there, right? And so then we're going to even back that down more into action. So what actions does she need to take to acquire 30 clients? Let's help her.
And phone calls.
Follow calls, tell the story, you know,
Meet new people.
meet new people, get on Facebook and do like some posting of things. Get referrals, follow up on the threads.
Go to all the events.
Offer the opportunity.
Offer the opportunity. Ask them if they want to have you be the coach or them be the coach. And then when you do these, the ones you have a heart attack about, you ask for help with from your mentor. Right? Because you're like, those scare you, or you delegate it to your spouse.
And just so you know, you guys, it's really, I mean, I'm more scared to talk to my own people than I am to talk to her people. So I'm happy to talk to your people. It's easy. So maybe you should do that. And then I start doing that with my, I'll call Terry and say, you talk to these people because they scare me, but I can talk to those people because they're.
So identify coaches.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you put that down to identify them? Identify.
No. Okay.
So we need to identify our free coaches in our organization. We had a great tip on the leadership call the other night. Run all your clients through file folder 4 to see who's a good health coach candidate. You may be missing someone, right? And then make a list of all the free clients, people that you've been thinking about or have been asking questions and you didn't loop back with. So now you're getting clear. Now you lay in bed at night and you come up with more ideas for your action steps. You're like, oh, and I can do this. This is how the Healthy, Happy, Hot, our little Facebook support group got created. I told Leah, I said, we need a place where people can like communicate and share their success. Let's create a Facebook support page. Let me ask her if I can do that. Always check with your mentor. So I did. And she said, yeah, great. So we started with 10 in September. Now we have 600. And so now I'll think, okay, now we need to help our clients because I want to make sure we're supporting the clients. We need to do some kind of a healthy happy hour or something for clients to come and connect with us and to make a lean and green that's a little creative because maybe they're getting bored or they're not measuring or we need to make sure that they're doing really well. So what can we do for that? You see how like you lay in bed and think about things? Or in the shower? They said all your best ideas come in the shower. You know why? Because you're warm and relaxed. And naked.
I know that was part of that. We are on Zoom.
No, you're warm and relaxed, and so you're in a place of creativity when you're like that. So take more showers. Okay. So action steps. So are we getting there now? And then who are the people involved in this? What matters to them and it matters to you. Who's going to be part of this game we're playing to get to the 50 states? If we made a board game, it would say, Jessica's going to 50 states. How to win? Become a regional director. Right? That's your win. Okay, what steps do we take to start to go to New York? Boom, make a list. Okay, what actions do I need to take next? How am I going to start doing them? So what are you going to do next? We have all these ideas. What are you going to implement this week? Then you make your weekly, like, this is what I'm going to do list for reals. And you start implementing it. And you're chasing down now. You've got your rabbit in sight. The rabbit goes this way, you go that way, it goes this way. If you're chasing 5 rabbits, you just have whiplash, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. And then who's involved in this?
My husband.
Your kids, your family, so get them involved. Who else? Your mentor? Who's your mentor?
Yes.
Chelsea?
So your mentors are involved because they're going to be supporting you, so making sure you let them know. Then all your clients are involved, and all the pre-clients are involved because they're all part of. They're going to bring you the referrals. They're going to become coaches. This is you and yours, which was all Greek to me 2 months ago.
That was good. That was really good. Did you guys get a lot out of that?
Yeah.